Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over here to Premiere Pro, and I'm going to walk through how to actually create a project and how to work with everything. It's pretty simple. So we've got Premiere Pro. We're going to create a new project, and then you're going to give it a name. I actually also changed my location here to a location on a RAID array that I have, just to make sure that it all gets backed up and everything is okay. Now I've already created the project, so I'm just going to open it back up. So the first thing that we need to do when we get the project open is we need to bring our media into the project. So what I have done is I've actually so I went through and copied everything off of my GoPro onto the external media. And now what we're going to do is we're going to highlight it and we're going to drag it into our project. So the bottom left hand screen down here is actually going to bring that into the project. And I've got 4 clips that I basically recorded today. And so looking at the layout here, the top left hand control is where we're going to go for our the main part of our editing. That's our little editing window. And this is where we're going to set our ins and outs and all that stuff. The bottom right is our project timeline. This is going to be the actual movie that we're producing when we're done. And when we view this movie, when we want to go back and play it, that's what the top right hand window does. So what we're going to do is we want to find the first clip that we want to start with. And so I'm going to grab this clip and drag it into our preview window. Now when I do this, it's too far. This is not the clip that I actually wanted to have. So we're going to go down here and grab another one, and we're just going to drag it and drop it up here, and we're going to do this until we find the clip that we're actually looking for. So we'll pull this one up, and that looks like it's too late. This is from the inside of the airplane. Let me go back to this one. Let's see what is going on here. 98, 98. I got the same. Actually, this clip is the one that I want to, or no, that's the one that gets me up to taking off, but not quite. So that was 98, and this is 98. So I'm not quite sure why this one, there we go. Okay, so we have the clip that we want to work with up here. And so I'm going to hit the space bar and I'm going to start playing this clip, and we're just going to preview it. And you'll notice that there's a little bit of smoke coming out of the right hand exhaust here. And I really don't want to put that in the movie because somebody might think the airplane's got a problem. So what I want to do is I want to play along that to just about where it quits, right about there. And I'm going to hit the I key to actually start. So that's my in. So I have marked the in position on that particular video clip. And so now we're going to play it along. And we're going to go ahead and rotate, let the gear come up, and we'll wait until we get out over the lake. And we'll start our turn here. All right, so somewhere about in here is good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to stop it. I'll hit the space bar to stop, and I'm going to hit the O key to actually set my out position. So I have my in and out position set. So I'm just going to grab this clip now, and I'm going to drag it and drop it down here in the timeline. So I've now got a clip in here, and if I come down here and start playing this, you'll notice in the top hand window, this is what we're actually looking at. Okay, so now we want to go ahead and get our next clip. So for this one, I'm going to bring in the inside clip from when we're in the plane, and we want to go ahead and skip up here to where we're actually doing the run up. So we get off the mat there and get up here to where we're about to stop. We'll go ahead and push the throttles forward, and then somewhere in here I'm going to go ahead and we'll hit the space bar to stop it. And so I want to hit the I to start another endpoint on this clip. And you can do this as many times as you want on a single clip. So you can set an in and out, drag it to the timeline, move forward a little bit, set an in and an out, and drag it to the timeline. And you can do this as many times as you want. So there's my in. So we're going to go through the quick run up here. So we'll go ahead and stop that. We'll hit O, and then we're going to drag this and we're going to snap it right to the end of that other clip. So now I want to go to the next part, which is where we're actually departing. So we'll go on up a little bit farther, get us to the end of the runway here. And so at this point, I'm going to set another in, and we're going to go ahead and take off here. All right, and then we're going to set our out, and then we're going to drag this, and we're going to snap it right to the end of that. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to go over, so we have another clip that is us actually landing at the place that we went, which is over at Peach State. We went to a fly-in today. So we're going to go ahead, we'll get to where we're actually around here on final. And we'll get about here and we'll set an in there, and then we'll go ahead around here to where we're turning final. You can see the runway up ahead of us. So we'll go ahead and wait until we get down to where we want to be. Got the DC-3 there on the left. We'll go ahead and pull up here to the end of the runway where you can see all the airplanes, and then we'll stop the out on this particular clip. I'm going by all the steermen. And I don't have to sit and watch this. I can also just click up here and kind of force it up to where I want to be. So let's say we're going to go to about right in here, and then we're going to go ahead and set an out. And so I'm going to go ahead and drag this into the movie. Now, you'll notice here when if we play this back, when it gets to the individual clips, it's going to pop and go right into the next clip. And I don't really like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually click on each one of these sections, and we're going to tell it to apply the default transition. And so we're just going to go ahead and click over here, And then we'll go down here and do the same thing. And you can actually do these control clicking and do them all at once. But all right, so I've got my default methods, and we can also do it at the end and the beginning so that when it goes in and out of the clip, it actually kind of fades in and fades out as it goes. So we'll do that. And so now if we watch that clip again, you'll notice that it kind of fades into the next clip. So now we've got that going for us. And so let's just say that this is it. We've done, and there's obviously things that you can get more complicated in how to actually paste, trim, and cut and all this stuff, but we're kind of doing a very basic thing here. And so we've got our clips together, we've got our fades that we wanted, we've laid a music track to it if we want to, but I've got the movie and I want to actually output it now. So right now this movie is 4 minutes long. And I'm actually going to put a soundtrack to it before I actually export this, but I'm just going to show you how to do this. So if I go up here, we're going to go to File, Save, and save our project. And then we're going to go to File, we're going to go to Export Media. There's a whole lot of different ways to do this. This is just the way I do it. So right here it has this NTSC DV widescreen. I'm actually going to click on this and change it to 720/24. Mainly because it comes out looking really good, and it's not as nearly as big of a video clip when it's done, so it's easier to upload to YouTube. So I'm just going to change that over. The default output name is going to be the name of the first clip that we put in there, but that really is not what I want to name that. So I'm going to come over here and we're going to rename it to Peach State 2016. And then I want to put this on my video drive. So we're going to put it in that same Peach State 2016 folder that we created earlier. And I'm going to tell it to save. And then down here at the bottom, all we're going to do is hit the export button to export it. And it's going to create a movie file that we can then upload to YouTube. So that's a very, very quick example of grabbing some video clips, importing them into your project, clipping them the way you want them, and then uploading them into YouTube.